Let's see, now we're live. Okay, awesome. Hey, super excited to be here. How are you guys doing? Let me know. So this is planned to be a freelancing Q&A. So please bring on any questions you have about freelancing. Just, and let me know where you're tuning in from. So if you don't know me, I'm Victor. I'm a freelancer myself, and I help ambitious people like you guys to start freelancing online. So I know you have seen my skills and hacks and all that kind of stuff probably on the channel. If you're tuning in, if you're new, if you haven't seen me before, super nice to have you here. So I plan to discuss freelancing related stuff today, entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So please let me know what you want to know. Just bring on your questions in the chat, and I'll try to stay up to date. So I have a screen here, so I'll try to find where I'm from. I'm from Finland. Where are you from? Please let me know. Where are you guys tuning in from? So if you're tuning in here, this is a Q&A about freelancing. So I thought we were to discuss a bit about how to start freelancing and how to do that kind of stuff online. Malaysia, from Finland, from Nigeria. Okay, awesome. Canva user here, show all your good videos. Awesome. Super fun. I'm a Canva nerd myself, as you've seen. Let's see, now it looks like it's live. Perfect. Okay, hey, super excited to be here. So I see that we have more people joining. Welcome. So I'm Victor. I help you with freelancing online. So let's discuss stuff like that to help you get going. So yeah, please. I don't know what that kind of exam is. Can you explain? Put it in the chat. Do we have any Canva users here? I see we have one at least. Awesome, thanks for the likes. Great, hello, welcome. So if you don't know me, I'm Victor. I'm from Finland, and I help ambitious people start freelancing online. That's what I do. I post a lot of hacks and skills because that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I work with. So hey, but please let me know where you're tuning in from. Do you have any questions about freelancing or online business? Let's discuss. That's the things I know, online marketing. Let's see, I see we have more people joining. Is the music too loud? Can you hear me? Yes, I'm from Finland. Suomesta, yes. I actually speak Finnish and Swedish, so your tips are always helpful. Awesome, I'm happy to hear that. That's why I post them. I hope you like them. Cool, yes. You can hear that. Okay, awesome, cool. How to set up the best portfolio? Okay, that's a great question actually. So when it comes to getting started, I think that to get started with freelancing online, you don't really need a portfolio. What is most important is that you have the will to help people, and you can just showcase your skills kind of to them. So I think it's more important to showcase skills on the spot than actually provide value to people that you get in touch with, rather than just have an amazing portfolio to send them to. But if you want to set up a portfolio, I think that just setting up a simple portfolio in Canva is simple, great. I actually have one video tutorial, one video hack on my channel about this. I think I actually have one template in my template pack. You find it through the link in my bio. And Canva is definitely the easiest way to just set up something and show people what you've been working on, for sure. But I also advise a lot of people to just use a Facebook page or something like that, where it's easy to like upload videos, upload images, and maybe testimonials if you have that. Advice on websites where you can lo-fi music for commercial. Okay, so I actually use Epidemic Sound. So I don't know if you're familiar with that. Do you know what that is? So Epidemic Sound is one that I use. Now I see the host is in, what is this? Go live together. No, I don't think, let's see, I don't know what that is. This is the first time I'm doing live, so it's a bit newbie on these things, but it looks like I can see your questions, your comments at least. That's good. It's not free. No, Epidemic Sound, it's not free. No, I don't actually know any free website where you can get real good quality music. I think it's definitely worth paying a little to get like stuff from Epidemic Sound. There's another one that's really good that has more like video. Yes, Epidemic Sound. That's what it is. So there's another site that is really good, and that's Premium Beats. I think that's more expensive. But I know quite a lot of my colleagues and clients use Premium Beats. Can you speak, I don't know what that language is. I speak Finnish and Swedish and English. Hello, nice, welcome. So I see that we have more people joining. So this is a freelancing Q&A. So please ask any questions related to freelancing, to laptop skills or content creation. I'm happy to help you guys. So if you've been following me for a while here on TikTok, you know that I post a lot of Canva hacks, I post a lot of CapCut hacks, because content creation like that, I'm very much into it, and that's what I do for my living. So, yes. More people are joining. Awesome, welcome. So, if you're new here, I'm Victor. I help people with freelancing online. And how long did it take you to learn English? That's a great question. We actually start very early in school. We start to read English, and then when I started to freelance a couple of years ago, I knew nothing about business. I was completely new to it, and I spoke Swedish and English and very bad English. So when I started to work with clients internationally, I was very, very, very bad at English, and it took me like a year to learn the language at first. And then through work and through working with, I have a lot of clients in the States. That was kind of how I started to develop my language skills more, obviously. And now the only thing I do is work in English. Challenges of freelancing. Okay, can you specify? I think there's a lot of challenges of becoming self-employed, but for me it was a lot of trial and error until I figured out how to freelance online and how to get clients. I guess that the main issue people have when it comes to freelancing is that they think they have to sign up for all these platforms, like sign up for Fiverr or Upwork or stuff like that. And you don't have to. Like I definitely think that that's not the way to do it. Because if you do, you will list your service on a place where there are tons and tons of people offering the exact same thing. And it's a price race down to the bottom, so you basically offer same social media management services as everybody else, but they do it for like $15 or something like that, which is crazy. And then if you manage to make a sale, then the platform will take a part of that. So I guess that the real challenge when it comes to freelancing is to understand that the traditional way of doing things is not what works anymore. Like now we have platforms like TikTok here, we can use Facebook groups, we can use a bunch of stuff like that to get in touch with clients. You don't have to wait for clients to come, you can literally go straight to them. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges I see people facing, that they don't know how to get clients, but it's actually super simple. You don't have to find them, you can just go them. Like it's super simple. Hey Victor, you're such a positive, motivated person. Thank you so much for amazing tutorial videos. I'm super happy to hear that. Thank you so much. I see that's from Yuri Musical. I was joking, for real I thought you were a native speaker. Thank you. Happy to hear that. No, but I'm from Finland. And I actually, Finnish is not my first language. Swedish is my first language. But then I do speak Finnish. My wife, she speaks Finnish. So we do speak Finnish a bit at home, for sure. Your personal top 3 tips for freelancing. Okay, that's a good one. So my personal best 3 advice is probably, if you were to get started, first of all, it's to understand that you already have all the skills you need. You don't have to become an expert. You don't have to become super good at something. You can take the skills that you have right now. I think that no matter what you do, if you're in a 9-to-5, if you're a nurse, you're a teacher, no matter what you do in your work or in your career, you do have a lot of skills. Like it could be just organizing stuff, it could be structuring, it could be planning, stuff like that. So that's the first advice. You already have the skills, trust me. Then step number 2 is obviously that you shouldn't list your services on a freelancing platform. You should go straight to the clients on social media. And then step number 3, which I think is the most important, is that when I started freelancing back in the days, the reason I started freelancing was because I wanted freedom. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to decide when I work, what I work with, and all this kind of stuff. So if you do that, you shouldn't sell your services based on hourly pricing. You should sell them based on value. That's like absolutely, maybe the most important. That when you sell, you should sell project-based, never tie your work to time. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes you can do, because then you will literally be stuck. Hi Victor, today is my birthday. What can you wish? Oh, happy birthday. happy birthday. I hope you've had an amazing day. How have you been celebrating it? Let me know. I see there was something I missed. Great content, thanks. Hälsningar från Stockholm. Hälsningar tillbaks, härligt. Kul att du tycker det. Yes, let's see. Yes. So, but hey, awesome question, guys. Like, that's awesome. Great. Let's see. Is the music too high? It's pretty high here. Can you hear it? Can you hear me clearly? Watching from Kenya. Nice. Africa is tuning in. See, we have people from all over the world. That's nice. So it's actually it's getting late here in Finland. It's been a pretty rainy day. So it's 8:30 now about. How difficult is it to start freelancing along with 9 to 5? That's a good question. So basically, I would say that the great thing about freelancing is that the barrier for entry is so low, you can literally decide how much you work. And if you have, let's say you only have 30 minutes a day or something like that, it's definitely enough to start out, because you can do something. You can, like, remember, your work, the quality of the work you do, your work is never tied to time. You just help busy business owners solve problems. So if their problem is to do a live video, that was my problem today. Like, when I was going live, it was like failing all the time. So if a business owner is facing a problem and you have the knowledge how to help them solve that, then you don't need much time. So it's definitely doable to start freelancing when you're still in your 9 to 5. I actually think that that's the way you should do it, and for some time you should do both. So most of the people I coach and most of the people I help actually start out freelancing as a side gig. So they start freelancing, assisting business owners just to kind of feel how it works. And when you make equally as much, you make equally your income, you make as much money in your freelancing work as you do in your 9 to 5, then it doesn't make any sense to be stuck, right? Because then you can only do your freelancing and all of a sudden you have like 8 hours a day free. That was basically how it was for me. So when I started, I was stuck in my 9 to 5. I was actually working at part-time jobs. I was studying. So my days were full. Like, I worked 10 to 12 hours a day, which was crazy back then, because I remember my wife and I, we never had time to eat dinners together. We were so busy all the time. Like, I felt so exhausted. But then during late nights, I spent time on my freelancing business, and eventually I started to make pretty good money with it. And then when I made my first $5,000 a month, which was basically it wasn't that long in, but when I did that, I decided that, whoa, now I make this and I have clients who pay me monthly, so now it doesn't make any sense to be stuck in 9 to 5 anymore. So difficult, it will demand work. Like, you won't magically get clients and people to pay you as a freelancer. You need to do work. But it's definitely doable. I mean, I think that's the difference between freelancing and many other business opportunities out there, that freelancing is very predictable. It's very realistic to get to make a good high income, because you don't need many clients. Just think about it. It's difficult to start a business in general. It is, because there's so many things that goes into it. Marketing is also always kind of the most difficult part, because you need to present yourself and you need to explain to other people what you do. So I think that the marketing aspect of it might be the hardest when it comes to starting a business. But then as a freelancer, you don't need many clients. You only need a few. So that's a good part. How to approach potential clients. Why will they choose me over someone from freelancing websites? Perfect question. I love this. So basically, I think that when you have the value first approach and you have the relationship building approach, so what I basically mean is that whenever you get in touch with somebody, if you just pitch your service, you tell them that, hey, I can build a website for $5,000 or something like that, nobody's going to be interested, because they don't know and trust you yet. So in order for you to get clients who want to pay you, you need to showcase your skills. You need to give them value first. So just think about it. If you go to the local mall and you approach someone and you say, hey, I'm an amazing freelancer, you want to buy my service? Of course they're going to say no, because you haven't given them any value yet. So in order for you kind of to give yourself a chance, and in order for you to make the competition irrelevant, go there out and see what kind of problems people have and help them. That's it. Help them for free. And if you feel that you don't want to do that investment, I just want to tell you that there's nothing better than doing a small task for free, winning somebody's trust, and make sure that they like, know, and trust you, because that's the easiest client to sell to. For sure, especially when you live in the Middle East. I think it, no matter where you live, it's the same for all of us. Like, no matter where we're from, no matter what we do, no matter what kind of background we have, we're all in the same boat. Like, we need to, whenever we get in touch with a potential client, we need to provide them value first, so that they like, know, and trust us. Because when they do, that's when we can pitch our service to them. So that's what I think is very, very important to do. So why they will choose you over somebody else? I think it's very, very important to understand that when you get in touch with clients, they will pick you because you are you. So quite often we tend to think about freelancing as, okay, we have these services and the service is the main thing. But when you do freelancing the way I preach, I call it service providing, because it's more, if you think about it, if you get in touch with somebody and they really like working with you and you have a great communication with them, they are much more likely to continue working with you than just taking you because of your service. So when you show your true personality and you show them who you are, they will resonate with you. Actually, a funny thing is that when I started out and I started freelancing online, then I was very focused on just talking about my service. So I told everybody that, hey, I'm good at Canva, I do graphics, I do a bit of Photoshop, I do web design and stuff like that. And I was very focused on like the technical part of my business. And basically what happened was that people felt that, okay, Victor, he's doing some sort of service, but they couldn't really, connect with me. Until I started to share stuff about, actually, I have my golden retriever, he's a big dog, he's right here. When I started to share more stuff about him online and I started to share about him to my clients, people started to resonate with me and they started to know me. And when they started to like, know, and trust me, that was when they started to reach out. And that was when they started to choose me over just somebody offering a service on a platform. So I think that's very, very important. What is the task you never thought companies would actually pay you for doing? That's a good one. So there's a lot of things, because when I started freelancing, I thought that people only want experts. They only want amazing services. But eventually I understood that that's just one part of it. Like, the other part is that they want somebody to brainstorm stuff with. There's a lot of solopreneurs out there, especially now after the pandemic and everything, when a lot of businesses have been forced to go online, or you couldn't offer your services locally anymore. You needed to start do something online. What basically happened was that a lot of people were on their own. They had no clue what to do, and still are. Like, the online opportunity is just growing. So when people start out online and they don't know what to do, the best thing they can get is a brainstorming partner. So the one thing that I never thought people would actually pay me for is to be their brainstorming partner, because that's quite often how I start out the client relationship. I start out with what I call a clarity workshop. It's basically just a fancy name for having an initial meeting where we kind of talk about business related stuff, and we kind of prioritize the things that they do and stuff like that. So that's for sure one thing. Personality works pretty well in Middle East. Good for me. That's awesome. Same for me. Like, to show your personality and don't try to hide behind like a suit or something like that. That's for sure gotten me way more clients than I ever got when I tried to pretend to be someone I'm not. So always be yourself, because we are our own worst critics. So I think it's very hard to see the uniqueness in oneself. But when you start working with a client and you talk about your hobbies, you talk about you show your personality, then it's easy for them to build a relationship with you and trust you and actually feel comfort spending money on your services. I think that's key. Let's see, what else? Hi from Philippines. Nice that Philippines are tuning. I think it's pretty late for you in Philippines, right? It's 8:30 here. It has to be in the middle of the night for Philippines. I'm a senior student. I don't know what to focus on. Can you give me advice? Okay, let's see. I think that's very interesting too, because for a long time I had very hard to know what my kind of thing were. thing was. And I think that the best way to start thinking about that is that, what are you really passionate about doing? If you were to do something that you think is really fun, what would you do? I think that's the first thing to think about. Like, what is super fun to do? Then the next thing that I want you to think about is what do other people think that you're good at? Because sometimes we don't really see the stuff that we're good at ourselves. So especially, I know when I started out online and I thought that I was just a hobby graphic designer. I didn't even call myself a graphic designer, but when I started to design stuff in Canva and Photoshop and stuff like that, I never considered myself a graphic designer, so I never saw my own skills. But then when I started to ask my friends and family, they said that, hey, but Victor, you're so good at like graphics. So I think the next thing is definitely to ask people around you what they think that you're good at. Because when you know what you're passionate about and you know what other people think that you're good at, that's the foundation for a career that you love. Because then you do stuff that you love, which obviously makes it easy to stick to. And then if you're good at it, it obviously gives the results that people are looking for. So I think that's important. Let's see, how can I get excited and keep working on my channel, for example? So you mean your TikTok channel or YouTube channel or something for freelancing? Can you please specify that part? Let's see, did we get something? Oh, there we have it, yes. So how you can get excited to keep working on your channel? I think that it all comes down to like, why are you doing it? Quite often when we post on, at least I know this from my own journey, that when we post stuff online, we focus on like, what is the thing that we want to post? What can get a lot of views? What can get a lot of likes? What can get a lot of engagement? But when you switch focus from the what to why you're doing it, and you start thinking about, why do I want to post this? What is it that drives me to post this message? Then it all changes, because then you will build up that excitement from within, instead of thinking about the external things like external validation of getting likes and getting comments and stuff like that. So I think that in order to get excited about the stuff that you do, you really need to think about why it is that you do it. If the why is not exciting, you need to change it. Then you're not doing the right thing. You need to do something you're aligned with. So I think that a lot of people are afraid of setting goals. So if your goals don't excite you, then you need to set bigger goals. If you want to be an influencer, set bigger goals. Tell yourself that you want to be on stage talking to a million people or something like that. Like, put a big goal, sharing the things that you're passionate about. And then you will be excited to share stuff on your channel. I think I'm a great example, because for a long time I was just scrolling on TikTok. So I didn't post anything for a long time, like a year or something, because I didn't know what I wanted to post. But then when I suddenly started to share, like, hey, I really want to share this kind of stuff, then that was my motivation to start posting. And now I'm excited every time I post. Every time I record a video, like I recorded a video two hours ago, then I'm excited about it, because I feel that this is something other people need to hear. I need to tell this because I want other people to know this. So when you get that kind of excitement for your own stuff, because it's stuff that you're passionate about, then it will be easier to be consistent, for sure. And that's the key to succeeding. Let's see, what is this? Love your TikToks, great advice. Thanks, happy to hear that. So, is it good to put a portfolio if I'm doing freelancing job for a political party? I think that it's always great to show what kind of stuff you've been working on. So if you're working for a client that, let's say that they are coaching in something, or they are doing something that you aren't really resonating with, let's say that you're working for somebody with political views that you don't align with. I would maybe take that experience and really think that, why do you pick that kind of projects? So if I work with clients that I never would like to show in my portfolio, then that's not the right clients, right? So whenever I start working with people online, and whenever I start working with new clients, I always think about, like, who are they? Does this resonate with me as a person? Let's say that I help somebody with, since I do social media management, so I do social media management and I build marketing campaigns for clients, like websites and stuff like that. I always think, do I want to help this client reach more people? And if the answer is yes, then yes, I'm gonna give them a proposal on how we can work together. If the answer is no, and I don't resonate with them, then of course I'm gonna say, no, I don't think I'm the right freelancer for you. Like, that's how it is. So I think it all comes down to really thinking about, do you want to work with them? And if you feel that it could hurt your your marketing, or it could hurt your brand to show that you've been working with somebody with a certain political view, then I really think that then you need to rethink. If that's not something you're aligned with and you can't stand for it, then then you shouldn't work with that kind of clients. But if it's something that you feel that, hey, but it's a really good message, but you're just afraid that it would affect your chances to get more clients, then I think leave those fears, because what it all comes down to is just showing more of you, who's behind that service. And if you have political views, I think it's fine to share them. Be transparent about the way your thoughts, basically. That's just way better. So transparency is always the best, because in the end, there's nothing worse than trying to make up a character that you think is needed to be successful or to get clients. So it's way better to just be transparent about all things. Like, you can tell clients that, hey, I worked with a project that had this type of approach, and own the narrative of it. What do you mean when client is being, let's see, where did the comments go? Awesome questions, guys. Thank you so much. This is great. So, okay, what do you do when a client is being difficult or unreasonable? On Upwork, it's always the freelancer's fault. Yeah, you shouldn't be on Upwork. That's the simple answer. Don't be on Upwork. Always take the conversation outside. And since you're not allowed to do that if you're signed up for Upwork or Fiverr or platforms like that, you shouldn't use them. Like, that's it. Just be yourself on social media. That's it. Be yourself on social media. Get in touch with busy business owners who need help. That's the first step. But if you happen to be in a relationship with a client that is being difficult, be transparent and share how you feel. Because if you don't set the boundaries, if you don't tell them how you feel, they will never know. Like, they will just take advantage of you and your service. So tell them. It's very important to tell them exactly how you feel. So if I feel that the client is being difficult with me or unreasonable, which rarely happens now because I have a client agreement when I start working. But if that would happen, basically what I do is that I tell them, this is how I feel. Can we work on this? Can we make a compromise? And then you basically take it from there. But the first step is that always take I prefer video meetings. Like, I love Zoom meetings with clients. I always do Zoom meetings whenever I start out, because you get the face for the client and they get the face for you, which I think is very important, because you will get another level of respect when you communicate on video. So I think that's very important to do. But then clear communication, like always, if there's something that's not clear, make sure that they understand how you feel, because then it will be way easier to solve. What is the basic skills a freelancer must have? Okay, that's a good one, because it basically depends on what you're interested in. But basic skills, laptop skills, like communication skills, that's the kind of stuff that is needed. But I think that all of that can be developed. So when you start working, when I started, I had no idea how to communicate with clients. And since I was speaking Finnish and Swedish, I didn't know how to communicate with them in English. Like, I didn't have that. So when I started out, I didn't have any of that. So I developed all of that. So that kind of skills are possible to develop. Something that's not possible to develop is the mindset to help people. So I think the basic skill that everybody needs is that if you are thinking about starting to freelance, or if you're already freelancing but you're struggling, I think it's very important to have, call it the skill or call it the mindset, to be willing to help people. Because if you're willing to help people, then you have everything you need. Because if you're willing to help people, then you will listen. You will listen to their struggles, their problems, and then that way you can be able to help them. Because you ask. So to listen maybe could be another one. How to get remote jobs without being asked to work permit, especially as Africans. Okay, I don't know exactly how it works with that kind of stuff in Africa, but I would assume that when you work online, I have students in my program and coaching from all over the world, And basically, it doesn't matter where you are when you work online, because there are no national borders. You need to have your legal business, of course. That's different from country to country. But to get remote jobs, I guess that you mean like to be employed. Is that correct? I think that you solve that by working on freelance basis. I think that's way better. So work on freelance basis, and then you set up a agreement for whatever stuff to include in your service. Thank you so much. Okay, now the chat is loading again, so let's see. There we got you. Okay. Hey, great questions. Great questions. So you don't have the right to call yourself a West Coast gangster because it's a cultural appropriation. Okay, interesting comment. Guys, I see everything. Like, I literally read all my comments on TikTok, and sometimes I have such a fun time. Because you guys, not you guys, but you know, in general, all the people who follow my account and watch my videos, there's all kind of comments, which is fun. But just so you know, I read them. I actually read all my comments. You talk about clients. What do you do for work? Yes, so I'm a freelancer myself. So I freelance with social media management and website building, marketing consulting, and I help businesses with structuring their marketing campaigns and all that kind of stuff. But I also coach other people to do the same. So freelancing is how I make my living, but then I'm super passionate about helping other people to start freelancing to free themselves from the 9-to-5. So that's what I do. So to answer your question, for my work, I freelance myself. I build websites, marketing campaigns, consulting, but I also spend a lot of my time for the things that I'm passionate about, which is coaching you guys how to start freelancing and how to become self-employed. So that's what I'm super passionate about. Which is better, pay per project or monthly pay? That's a good one. So I think that the best way to answer this is that if you tie your work to time, you will always limit yourself. So think about it. You only have 24 hours in a day, and you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to go out with a dog, you need to poop, you need to, you have a bunch of stuff you need to do. So you are limited. So you will limit your earning potential if you tie your work to time. And I think that if you think about a traditional 9-to-5 job, you don't get paid for the problems you solve, the stuff you do, not directly. You get paid for the time you spend on doing all of that, right? So you get hired because you have skills and you can help them solve problems, but you get paid based on time. You need to sit inside the office for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And then if you're good, you might get a bonus, or you might get the Employee of the Year award, but you never get paid directly in direct correlation to the value that you can provide. So to answer your question here, it's way better to always be product-based. So be product-based, but you can also tie your service to a monthly service fee based on what value you provide during that month. So for instance, when I do social media management and I assist business owners with their posts, what I do is that I charge a monthly fee. So I have a monthly fee where they know how many posts they get, they know when they get published, they know kind of what the management is included and all that kind of stuff. So what I do, because my work is never tied to time, it's value-based. What I do is that I can use 1 or 2 days a month to schedule all that content. I create all the content and then I schedule it, which means that I have all the 28, 29 days free after that. And they still get the full month worth of content. Does that make sense? Because you could say that that's a monthly pay. But it's a monthly pay, but I get paid based on value. So it's project-based. So I think that when you combine these, that's the best part. So that's obviously where you get the financial security as a freelancer. When you get paid based on value, so that you don't have to sit by the computer for 8 hours a day, but you get paid based on the stuff that you do, the problems you solve, the posts that you create, the captions that you write, all that kind of stuff. So when you get paid based on that, then you can tie your service fee to a monthly service for sure. You can hear he's from Sweden. Actually, not from Sweden, I'm from Finland. Pretty close. I speak Swedish, that's why. So I speak Swedish, but I'm from Finland. I actually lived in Sweden for 5 years. So I lived in Gothenburg for 5 years. Where are you from? Are you from Sweden yourself? Do you have a website? Yes, I have. So it's dreamjobbers.com. That's my website. So that's for the coaching we do. Yes. Let's see, I'm gonna update this one and see if we have new comments. Just bring them on. I'm gonna have a glass of water. Great. Yes, do you have any other questions about freelancing, entrepreneurship, balancing work and life? Or golden retrievers like that guy over there? Cabri, say hi. Such a funny guy. Can you share the link? I don't know if I can put a link here, but it's literally dreamjobbers.com. Check if you want to see the stuff that I do, go to my profile, and I have arrows that point at that stand with link. So if you click that one, you will see all my best stuff basically. So if you want to read more about my program and the stuff that I do, which is the Dream Job Online stuff, then you will find it there. So if you're searching for that, then go to the link in my profile, click that, and then you will find it. How do I begin? With what? What do you want to begin with? A business? Freelancing? Please specify. Can you specify? Can you specify? What do you want to begin with? A business? Freelancing? Okay. So first of all, I think that you need to think about what your skill is. That's the first part. So think about what are the things that you're good at and enjoy doing. Think about that. If it's hard to come up with what you're good at, I feel that most people struggle with that one. So if you feel that it's hard to come up with what you're good at, then ask your friends. Ask your friends. Send a message to them and ask them, like, what do you think I'm good at? And that will most of the time give you a good idea of what you're good at. So when you start from there, then you need to think about what is the demand on the market? What do people need help with? And if you somehow can tie your skills to social media, then that's for sure a win, because there's so much opportunity out there to become a social media manager, help people with TikTok, help people with Instagram. So if that's you, then congrats, that's a good one. If there's something else, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do. Do you know what your skill is? If you think about that. I can't see what your name is, but I can see your, let's see. Is it Gore? Please type in, what is your skill? And guys, what kind of skill do you have? Do we have any freelancers here? Hands up. Do you already freelance? Or are you looking to get started? Or do you have a business? Put something in the chat, if you like. No pressure. What services do you offer to your clients? Okay, so I offer marketing consulting. That's my main service right now. But when I started, I offered graphic design. So I did a lot of Canva design. I did Photoshop, mockups and stuff like that. So I started as a graphic designer. Then I developed that skill into web design just by doing. No courses, nothing, just working on projects. And I actually got paid while developing my skill, which is the way I think you should do it. Because real life experience is the best when it comes to freelancing online. That's for sure the best. So the services I offer right now is marketing consulting. So I still build websites, I build marketing campaigns. That's what I do. And then my clients, what I also consider my clients, are the ones in our coaching program that I coach and mentor when it comes to freelancing online. So that's what I do. Donnie says planning to freelance soon. Yes, go ahead. Do it. Try it out. You will love it. I love it. It changed everything for me. So when I started freelancing, I was so stuck. I literally went from rainy Gothenburg, exhausted every day, to living my dream life in Spain. Currently, I'm back in Finland. But we spend the winters in Spain because I just love the sun. I'm a summer person. So freelancing changed everything for me. It basically enabled me to have the freedom I have every day. Like I work a couple hours a day and then I spend the rest of the time with my dog or working out. I'm a track and field athlete since 15 years. I actually retired, we call it retired, about 5 years ago. But then I go to the gym quite often, so that's what I do. Let's see, I'm gonna click your names here. You have such funny usernames, all of you. Mirel says that you have an Etsy shop. Okay, awesome, hope it's going good. So my son wants to be an influencer. He's 11. That's great. great motivation. What do you suggest him to start with? That's a really good question. So I think that if I were to go back to time, let's put it this way. So if I were to go back in time, I would really experiment with all kind of passions. So I think it's better to document what you're doing. I think 11 is very young, but let's say that at least in a couple of years, whatever platform we have up, I think that Gary Vee's quote that stuck to me is document, don't create. And I really like that, because I think that when you're passionate about something and you want to share it, you can just share it without having to create content for it. So I think that's the most important part. Then if it were me, if I were to go back in time, I would really focus on trying a lot of different hobbies to experiment and test new stuff, like different sports, be creative, really try to be creative, more music. Like, did you know I'm very much into music? I actually produce some music too. But that's the kind of stuff that I would suggest to start with. Just experiment with a bunch of stuff and see what sparks the interest the most. So what ignites that excitement within, and then dive deeper into that and really gain mastery in it, and maybe start a program or pick a school based on that, something like that. Bro, motivated video, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I struggle with marketing and self-promotion. See, yes, I struggle with marketing and self-promotion, okay? What is it you struggle with? I think marketing in general is pretty hard for most people, because when you start out and you have never done it before, how would you know what works? You need to try out. The algorithms and everything on the platforms are changing all the time, which is also why I think the best way to freelance and the best way to do this kind of stuff is to actually just go out there and do it. Just go out there, don't be afraid, just put out whatever ideas you have and see how it works. That's fail fast, that's the best advice. If you look at it that way, like, failure is the most information rich situation we can put ourselves in. Like, that's how our body works too, if you think about it. Like, when we're infants and we grow up, the way our immune system develops is because it fails. We get sick, and then we build antibodies, and then we're stronger. So I think, like, when it comes to getting a strong entrepreneur mindset, or being a business person, or whatever you want to call it, be successful in the things that you're passionate about, I think that you need to fail a lot to kind of get the direction. So I would never be where I am today. Like, I'm making a full-time income from just a couple hours a day freelancing, and I have gotten all these amazing opportunities in my life because I failed a lot. A couple of years ago, I learned everything the hard way, I would say, because all the things that I tried, all business opportunities, all freelancing client projects, like, so many of these things I failed hard, miserably when I started out. But I learned a lot of stuff. So don't be afraid of failing. Like, this sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. Just go out there, fail fast, so that you get information. This is how we work with marketing in general. Like, just put out an ad, just put out a video, whatever, and just get some data on it and try to understand what happened. So it's actually, that's how it works with everything that I do. Just try whatever you feel that, if you get a great idea, just put it out there and see how it responds. If it's good, do more of it. If it's bad, do something different. That's how you should do with self-promotion as well. So another thing about self-promotion, as I said earlier in this live, is that I think it's so important that when you promote yourself, don't try to be a character. Be yourself, because people will resonate with you and they will like you because you are you. That's why. And it's also way easier. If you try to be someone you're not, it basically puts you in a position where you always have to put on that character, and sometimes that will drain all the energy you have. So instead of doing that, be yourself, be your authentic self, and share stuff that you really think and feel, because then it's going to be way easier to be consistent. And in the end, when you talk about marketing and self-promotion, it's always about being consistent. You need to be consistent to see results. So if you try to come up with a fake story or try to pretend someone you're not, you're going to struggle. So that's my advice for you. I have a 7 to 3 job and would like to have let's see, where did I go? Let's see, I would like to have an extra income and freedom. Okay, great. Then I believe that if you're stuck in a 9 to 5 or 7 to 3 or whatever the times are that you work. If you're stuck in a traditional job, I think that the only way to free yourself is by freelancing. Because freelancing is so good because you don't need many clients. You only need a couple clients, maybe just one client to replace your 9-to-5 income. I have clients who pay me $5,000 a month. Clients who pay me $3,000 a month. So you understand, you don't need many clients. And I don't spend a lot of time working on it because I work value-based. So if you're stuck and you want extra income and freedom, I think that freelancing is the best and most predictable way to do that. If you try to build a business and if you try to build a brand or establish a brand or stuff like that, it takes time. Or not to talk about these MLMs that I don't even want to spend time talking about. MLMs and scams and all these things like investing. I mean, it sounds good. And if you're in a position where you have a lot of time or you have years of a big network, then go ahead. But if you're just starting out and you have very little time, then it's impossible to build an own brand just like that. It's almost impossible. Let me put it that way. Nothing is impossible unless you say so. But it's very hard. It's way easier. It's way easier to just use the skills that you currently have, maybe from your 9-to-5. So if you're in customer support, you have communication skills, use that, start helping businesses, and you will make extra income faster than you could imagine. Where do you find clients? On social media. That's where you find them. So social media is the place to go. I think personally that if you think about, you really need to think about who your dream client is. And with dream client, I mean, who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with anybody who pays? If that's the situation, then I would say it's pretty hard to get started because you don't know really where to start. But if you think about who you want to work with and you think about what kind of communities do these people hang out in? So if they join certain groups on Facebook, are they part of certain communities online, on LinkedIn? Also, I think that you need to think about what kind of service you want to provide to them. So if you want to do social media and Facebook services, you will obviously find them on Facebook. If you want to do TikTok services, you will most likely find them on TikTok. So you really need to we get so much clarity in who you want to help. Because if you know who you want to help, then you can figure out what you can help them achieve, what you can help them avoid, and what kind of service you can provide to them to do that. So if you think about those things, it will be way easier to find them. And then it's actually not that much about finding either. If you go to the place where these people hang out and you provide a bunch of value and you are the person that they would love to work with, basically what I mean, if you go to these places and you share a bunch of valuable insights, people will think that, hey, you're amazing. And they will like you and they will reach out to you and they will come to you. That's for sure one of my best secrets. I love all of your tutorials. Thank you so much. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. It's been a pleasure to do them. It's fun. Lack of confidence. Let's see. Was that related to something we discussed maybe? I can't remember. But if you're lacking confidence, I think that confidence comes a lot from the expectations we have. So if we have very, very high expectations that we never meet, then we won't have that much of a confidence. But if we put expectations a bit lower and we kind of try to celebrate each small win that we do, then we're more likely to build up that confidence. So I remember this is great from my track and field career. When I was a runner, so I was a 100-meter sprinter. I was running a lot for many years. My family is track and field family. So when I was young, I always had these high goals. Like I wanted to be the fastest man on the planet. Had to compete with guys like Usain Bolt and stuff like that. So it was very hard for me to just understand that I'm so far behind. And that made my confidence pretty low. I felt that I'm not good. But then when I started to compare myself with other people that were not on the world-class top, I started to gain more confidence. And I don't think you should compare yourself to other people. Like, you do your own journey. But that's just another example of how expectations can ruin your confidence. So if you put expectations that you should be as good as somebody else who's like been doing the same thing for 5 years more, it's going to be very hard to meet up to that standard. So I think it's way better to try to celebrate smaller goals. Don't put too high expectations at first. You can have big goals, have amazing big goals that excite you and keep you motivated to stick to your mission. But then don't put your expectations too high. They will just ruin the whole thing. there's actually a really good TED Talk on this. So if you have a low confidence now, search for TED Talk expectations. Search for that and you will find a really good video on this. Thank you, that's a great way to look at it. I think that was the same thing we discussed. It's a good way to look at it. A friend of mine got out of every day to find a list of 50 no's. Thank you, I needed to hear that. Yes, I think that's it. That's very, 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 very important. I can tell you're a genuine person. Thank you so much. Yes, try to be. Try to be. So I think when it comes to, I think right now I'm a great example of the marketing I was talking about earlier. Like whenever you show up online, that's why I love live sessions. Be yourself. Because if you try to be someone you're not, it's going to be very hard to do it again. Like how could I have done 150 hacks videos or whatever? I don't know how many videos I've done, but I've done a lot of them. Probably like 150 different laptop hacks. If I wouldn't like that, and if I wouldn't really be into working with that kind of stuff every day, it would be very hard. But it's not, because that's the stuff that I literally do every day. And whenever I find something that's interesting and I find something that I feel that, hey, you guys need to know this, then I share it. So it's very easy. So that's how you need to think about it. And then don't think about what you should do. Think about why you do it. So if you're passionate about sharing your stuff, then that will feed the motivation. Your videos are so good. I'm learning so much. Thank you so much for making. Love from Singapore. Awesome. High five. I'm happy to hear that. Happy to help. So, can I take your mentorship? Yes, you can absolutely do that. So, you're welcome to, if you would like to have support on your freelancing journey, then check out my mentorship program, Dream Job Online, where I guide you through all the steps of getting started and actually creating a career that you love, creating a dream job online. That's why we call it the way we do. So, I and my wife, Annie, we actually structured the program 2 years ago. We established the program, and now we've taken over 200 people through the framework and actually helped them to over 122 people to replace their 95 jobs. So that's what I'm passionate about. That's my mission, to help free more people from the 9 to 5. So yes, feel free to join. We actually have the enrollment open right now. So if you find it through my bio, just check. You have all the information in my bio. Somebody asked about the TED Talk. Yes, I actually did a TED Talk myself last fall. So I did a TED Talk about creating your own career, which was very fun. It was a fun experience for sure. So I've never done anything like that before. So it was my first time doing a public speaking gig, which was very, very fun. You can actually find it if you search on my name and then you do TED Talk. So TED Talk Victor Johnson. That's when you find it. Use my username. You will find it. Hello from Greece. How are you doing? How are you doing? Awesome. We have Greece here. Actually, I was looking to travel to Greece. I would be very interested to see Greece. I've never been. I've been to Italy a couple times, and Spain. A lot of trips to Spain, but never to Greece. That's definitely on my next on the list. Hello from Somalia. Hello. Nice. Somalia is another place that I would love to see. So I've been planning a road trip or actually I haven't planned, but I have this dream to do a big road trip and actually do a long trip, maybe a couple months or something like that in Africa. That would be go to all these amazing places. Portugal here. High five, Portugal. I've never been to Portugal, but I actually have a friend that's he's in Lisbon right now. And it looks beautiful. I would love to see that. I've heard a lot of great stuff about Portugal. So pretty similar to Spain, if I understand it correctly. Weather-wise, the weather is pretty good and warm, but you have more like beautiful landscapes and stuff like that. Would be nice to go. So if I go to Greece, where should I go? Or if I go to Portugal, where should I go? Switzerland. We have the whole world here. Switzerland is a nice place. I've actually been to Switzerland once. That was for a ski trip. Very beautiful. Greece want to go to Portugal. That's great. Let's go together, everybody. So, where in Portugal should we go? Jose, tell us. I think it's Jose. Did I pronounce it correct? Tell us where to go in Portugal. If we go to Portugal, where should we go? Belgium is here. That's close to Switzerland. Madeira, okay. Yes, actually, my best friend, he was to Madeira. Was it last winter? I think so, a couple months ago. It looked beautiful, beautiful. Like the Canary Islands, but more trees and green. Canary Islands is. Many years I went to Canary Islands for track and field trips, training camps, basically. England is beautiful. I've been to England, and okay, I've not been to England. I've been to London, so I haven't seen that much of it. Now my dog is here. You want to say hi? Copy, say hi. There he is. He's gonna get excited too. I think we're about to call this session here. Yes, my dog. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's always with me. Come here. Yes. Come visit Malaysia. You know, I've actually been in Malaysia. I've been in Malaysia once. That's 10 years ago. So it was a tourist trip. Probably only seen the tourist stuff. But I remember Kuala Lumpur. That was a very, very nice town. Very like futuristic, or how do you say it? I think. Heipa, yes. Okay, but guys, hello from Uganda. Awesome, guys. Hey, I want to thank you so much for joining this session. It's been super fun with it. Fun here the last hour with you, and we had a lot of great questions about freelancing and business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that, which I love talking to you about. So that was for sure fun. We're gonna do another one of these soon again. So did you like it? Did you like it? Did you like the session? Did you got some great advice from it? Yes, awesome. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. So hey guys, thank you so much again. Thank you for spending your precious time with me on this live session, and I look forward to see you soon again. And stay tuned I have a lot of amazing TikTok videos coming for you. So I have a lot of great hacks, and actually a lot of freelancer mindset videos coming as well. So I'm sure you're gonna love them. So stay tuned for that. And now I think my dog is super hungry, so we're gonna have a dinner. And yes, take care. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.